This spot is money.
Finding the right spot to forage moss is crucial. It's not just any old moss we're going for. We're not gonna come up to this moss right here and start ripping the roots out like you rip out grass from a lawn. We're not gonna start doing that to hurt the tree, the bark, or the moss. We wanna keep everything really intact. Even though, look, this is beautiful moss. If it doesn't kind of pop right off, we're not gonna use it, okay? Because we're not killing any moss. What we're looking for is the perfect moss to harvest. We want it to kind of come off, not in little chunks like this, but kind of bigger chunks, longer chunks. And we don't want it to come off difficult. We want it to come off nice and easy. So let's find the perfect moss. Sara
Right here.
has her moss hunting skills, her moss radar, her mossdar.
This is gonna come off in chunks for sure.
Yeah, so we just come out with a bucket and you have to gather quite a bit, but when you start to take it, what you want to do is just try to slide your hand up underneath.
Oh yeah.
Look at that, that's beauty.
Look at how thick this
That's a
is.
beauty.
Sliding my hand right underneath it.
I'm gonna take this stick off and see if she can maintain this sheet and get even more moss all in one sheet. Because when we put it on the roof material, you'll see we want it to cover a large space. Kind of a pain in the butt to poke in just a little bit at a time. It's better if you can have it intact like this. And look, it's coming off of a dead, decaying, rotting tree. And we're not taking this tree out of the environment. These nutrients are still going into the soil. Some people wanna kind of criticize picking moss. And I would say that we consciously do it. And we're very respectful of this moss. It's going just a few hundred feet over that way, and it's gonna live a happy, happy existence. And some will grow back here. This log will continue to decay quite nicely.
Yes. You know what's funny? When I first met Jacob, the day I drove up to Washington to shoot his cabins, we were running late, the photographer and I kept having to message him and say, sorry, another hour, another hour. And you know, by the third time I was like, I'm so sorry. And he was like, oh, don't worry, I'm just out here foraging for moss. And I remember thinking, what? Who is this guy? And here I am.
You talking about me?
Foraging for moss.
You don't want to take too much from one place, babe.
Dude, chill, I know what I'm doing.
You're my moss queen.
Ah.
We like to get a kind of mixture of mosses. We've also got this like Christmas tree moss right here that Sara was getting. And we could just, in a place like this is like a jackpot. We really hit jackpot over here. You come over here, this is literally my favorite kind of moss. This is my favorite kind of moss. This is epic. This is my favorite kind of moss. I don't know how else to say it. It kind of looks like maiden fern. Maybe that's why I love it so much, because it's a moss that looks almost like a fern. And it has a fern in it. Look at just right here in this section. That kind of moss, that kind of moss, that kind of moss. Did I count that? Yeah, that kind of moss. A fern. This kind of moss. Moss boss. My favorite kind of moss. So now we've got a few kinds. We could keep going, but let's bring this on back over to our roof and start mossing it.
Please be sure to like and subscribe this channel so you never miss an update.
And please back us on Patreon so we can keep these free videos coming.
Yes, free ain't free. We need you. Back us.
Please.